Hey guys, today is January 9th of 2019. Yeah, another year, huh? I did a 7-year video in December, and today I'd just like to talk about, uh, reflect on 2018 and what intend, my intent in 2019 is. So, first of all, as most of you who watch me know, that I really, the last 2 years, struggled with some toxic emotions regarding uh, taking care of my stepdad before he passed away. And that involved some real intense times, some times where honestly I couldn't imagine being in his position. Uh, but on the other hand, having to absorb his toxicity. Um, I don't know how to explain it any more than that. So what came out of that was comfort eating, sugar. And then I reflected back on my life, and every time I put on weight in my life, I binged on sugar. So now I learned was learning in 2017, came to terms with it in 2018, that when things are down, I comfort eat and I look for sugar. So in that process in 2018, I learned some more things about myself. I learned that in my life with my family and friends, and mainly my family, that although the things I talk about I've experienced or I've read upon or I'm going to try or anything, for example, in 2014, my wife and I, Tony, did a shift in our way of eating, and we cut out processed foods. Uh, and we started juicing and we started implementing salads and a lot more raw food. But we still, I mean, we ate meat and stuff, but we just were a lot more choosy in what we put in our bodies. And we became really healthy, dropped some weight, both of us. But then I gained it all back during my sugar binge of the comfort eating I did for 2 years. So I did a video probably about a month or so ago that we were making a shift, and we have made that shift. We are now back to our raw food, our raw vegetables, our raw or fruits, cut out processed sugar. Uh, we don't cook processed stuff either. The one thing we did put back into our diet was potatoes, only because I read about potatoes, and we don't eat a lot of them, but this is the time of season that we eat a lot of stews and soups and stuff, and we do like the potatoes. We do eat a lot of sweet potatoes, blue sweet potatoes, yams, stuff like that, and that's like our little treats. We don't add any sugar to them, I don't even add butter. They're sweet enough for me. So anyway, uh, but there was another thing that I learned about myself in 2018 that I am going to carry over in 2019, is that no matter what I've experienced, no matter where I've been in life, no matter what I've learned, sometimes those conversations are not well taken. Uh, and in the times that on different topics that I've engaged conversation on, trying to show someone in their chronically ill stage that there is hope, but you got to make changes. Um, and I found myself taking it personal and getting my feelings hurt, if it wasn't received in the way I thought it should be. And I learned that about myself, and that's mainly about family that I'm talking about. You know, I guess my way of thinking is my family should know how I am as a person, and that I would never do anything to hurt anybody or to misguide them. Uh, life, life's lessons are about absorbing information and implementing that information. And sometimes it's not the best thing for you in your life, and that's how you learn. Those are experiences. But I learned that I have to keep my conversations very platonic, surface, no depth, and to refrain myself from engaging any conversation that might help someone else. Uh, Basically, what I see in my family is that sometimes it feels to me that they just don't want to get better, that they just rather live in their misery because they won't implement food. One of the conversations I had was talking about avocados and how I've read lots of literature about avocados and how a human being can actually sustain life on avocados alone. And the person I was talking to said, well, they hurt my stomach. And I said, well, have you ever thought the reason why they hurt your stomach is because your stomach is not used to good stuff. And so it's going to counteract against it. And then I was just told basically to, oh, whatever. And that told me, okay, conversation's over. And so sometimes I've taken those things personal, and I'm bringing into 2019 to engage in platonic conversation. So with people who I know are not in a receiving state. So anyway, so that was some things I learned about myself. Overall, in 2018, that's what it consumed me of. Trying to balance uh, my discouragement of who I am and what I'm about, and people not receiving me that way or thinking, yeah, you know, he would never do anything to hurt us. He's just trying to help us and leave, be at least giving me the benefit of the doubt, but feeling like I was, anyway, targeting or whatever. I can't even describe their way, but also too, finishing up debunking or detoxing from that long haul with my stepdad. I finally in 2018 started pulling myself out of it. I learned that I have PTSD, mainly regarding my work injury. I look totally healthy, but I do go through a lot with the pain in my feet. And I did have a stimulator update, so my stimulator works really well. And I've learned that I can't go over a certain amount of time on my feet, regardless if I have a stimulator. All the stimulator does is it blocks the pain to my brain. My feet are still going to be swelling. My feet are still going to get weak. I've learned what I can do and what I can't do now. And I also have had to come to understand that my life from about, if I'm up and around at a good given time, 8 o'clock in the morning, my life is basically back to stationary around 2 to 3, if that, in the afternoon. So I do have a recliner body. I do have hips. I have lost some. My estrogen levels have gone down. My body has shifted a lot. Now I've got the guy look that got the big belly that hangs over, and then I've got a butt. So I'm out here and out here. And I'm learning to accept my body the way it is, but not in a manner that I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm also learning that when I go to the gym, it's not to look spectacular to other people. It's it's to go to feel, because I love to strength train. I know my body responds well to it. I know that I can really bulk up if I wanted to, but I just want to be firm. And I just want to give my body the tools to work with itself to rid toxins and whatever that may be. If it's in the fat, whatever it may be. And we have already shifted into raw vegetables and fruits. And we still eat meat, don't get me wrong. But we make choices with our meats. And it's not about chicken. I like beef, but I buy grass-fed beef. We can afford it, so we do that. We make the changes what we can afford and what we can't. We still do a shake in the morning of raw spinach and coconut milk and wild blueberries and bananas. And, every morning that's what we basically eat for breakfast, unless we want pancakes. And then we eat paleo pancake mix, where it's just almond flour and those kind of things. I cannot have gluten. It does give me headaches. When I backslide from not eating flour, I end up with a headache. I have not had a migraine almost a few times, but have not had a migraine. We've cut out the corn again in our diet because it's all GMO. I mean, mainly corn is. We don't never have put soy into our. Well, we did before Tony's. She did before Tony's cancer, and we've omitted soy out of our. Even in ingredients like dressings that I like. If it says soybean oil, I don't buy it. If it says canola oil, I don't buy it. Um, I'll make my own. I like it with just lemon and some vinegar or something like that. But anyway, so those are the shifts we made as far as health is concerned. Uh, 2019, what I want to do for myself is I want to continue my health journey. I want to. Um, I already know and understand when I start craving sweets and I give up in my mind and go buy them, that there's something else going on with me emotionally, and I want to be able to step back from that. I may not be able to figure it out all on my own, but I want to feel my emotions. I want to feel where I am mentally and see if I can pull myself through that. Now that I understand I have PTSD, and it is very hard for me because I'm not bringing money home, although I have a settlement, I get paid a paycheck every month, tax free, benefits for life. You A person who's used to working all their life and has the mentality that they're the provider, it's very hard to do that, and that's why I do so many projects. That's why you see me painting my house all the time. Uh, we redid our kitchen. Tony will help me in areas, but all the painting usually is by me. I love to paint. It's very therapeutic for me. I do it at my own pace. That's why I do painting jobs at my mom's for her. I just put a hood over her stove, and we're going to take her stove top off, and I'm going to spray paint that the color she wants it. So these things, although they keep me occupied, they still don't feel that need of going to work and socializing and bringing home a paycheck and feeling good that I've done something productive. So I have to work on that. And I understand I'm not sitting around, you know, uh, not doing anything in life, but that's some of the things I struggle with. So 2019 is about when I start noticing I want craving a lot of sugar, there's something else going on. And I need to stop myself and just kind of maybe visualize or meditate and get back in sync with myself. That's another thing in 2019 I'm going to do is, or I am doing, is implementing visualizations, implementing meditation. It's hard for me now since it's winter to go out on my patio and just sit with the sun and feel the energy from the sun and just listen to the noises around me and let my body just absorb. That was really working well with me until the time change and there's no sun in the morning. But when there's sun outside, I do go out there and soak in the sun. It's very healthy. It just feels like it fills my cup. I feel like I connect to a higher being through the sun. Surgeries. I'm 7 years into my transition. I have finished all my surgeries that I wanted for myself. Everything has gone well. I'm not totally happy with the outcome of my surgery. Not Dr. Brownstein. He did a perfect job. But as I lost weight, I became where I had a fold underneath here, and it looked like a third boob. And when I went to the plastic surgeon through my insurance, she said she could get that. And I said, oh, great, because this side isn't bad. I have a little pooch, little fat, but it's nothing compared to this side. And when she did the surgery, I ended up with a huge hematoma the size of my fist. She opened me up and got that all out, and then ended up with a crease right by my nipple here, to where it looks like it's gathered, and she said she could fix that, but I was so distraught about my revision. She dropped my nipple down a little bit. You can hardly notice it, but I can. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And then it started with my stepdad, so I just never went back for the post-ops. I'm just going to work on my body, and if I lose anything, and if I have to do any I don't know what I'll do, but that's that's where I'm going in 2019. I'm just going to, if I go to the gym, I'm not going to the gym so I look good to everybody. I'm going to the gym because it makes me feel good. Because when I work out, I like strength training because I have the body that will build, and I enjoy that. The thing is, in my life, I've never thought that I deserve to be great at anything. I've been good at a lot of things, but I've never felt I deserved to be great at one thing. And so I'm trying to not be great at one thing, but to be great to myself and allow this body to be the way it will be naturally. If I keep on the weight, I keep on the weight. I have to accept that this is the way I'll look, even though I've got raw vegetables and fruit. There's another thing going on with my body I don't understand, and until I do, it's how it's got to be. And that's where I am. I'm just, and I'm not. The other thing I'm learning to do, and I'm not going to be perfect at it, but is to only, as I said, talk platonically with those I know who are not receptive to helping themselves. And I screwed up already, not even thinking about it. Yesterday I sent a video that was talking about the chronic illnesses and what can help you. And after I did, I go, why do you do that? You just told yourself you understand what you do, and that person's not going to be receptive. And of course, that person didn't text back anything. So I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not even going to worry about it. Each of us have to own up to our own journey, regardless of where we are in life, and we are responsible for that. So no one else is responsible for the actions of yourself. And I hold that truly up on high for myself. I have never blamed anybody for my misery. I didn't understand why I was the way I was for many years, but I still had the faith in my God that even though it's not explained here on earth, that I'm okay. I'm not a sinner, and I'm not blaspheming, and I'm not, you know, um, any other name you can think of. I kept my head high and knew I was loved and knew I was watched over. And He's always watched over me, even in the worst decisions and choices I've made in my life, the toxic relationships I've been in, that has mentally branded me. He brought me out of. And basically, I look at it as you reap what you sow. And I have seen these people, they don't look too good in life. And here I am smiling and enjoying life. And that's another thing, too, death. I don't want to die. I know that's our destiny is death, but I want to keep walk on this earth as long as I can because there's so much it offers us. I mean, yeah, I can get wound up with the presidency and get into the politics, and I mean that in itself I really have to walk away from because it brings toxins into me. It puts a cloud over me, and I'm not going to let a cloud rain upon my parade. So I just try to walk away from it. And that's what 2019 is going to be about for me. It's going to be about continue learning, continue absorbing knowledge from all different aspects in life, people who have been led, people who have learned, people who have experienced, and put a little bit of that into my life that will help me. And if it doesn't help me, then let it go. It wasn't for me, and just keep going on. So I'm wishing you all a good day to reflect on 2018, the things you've been through, the things you saw about yourself that you don't like to change, and just keep moving forward the best you can. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and you'll do okay. So, anyway, take it one day at a time and always make your journey as simple as possible. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.